What's up, everybody? Welcome to NWA Nurses with Attitude. Leanne and I just want to throw a quick shout out to the listeners. Thank you for listening and tuning in to today's episode. Go follow us on Nurses with Attitude on Instagram. Feel free to leave a comment on our post, send us a DM, let us know what you guys think and what you guys want to hear. Enjoy today's episode. Yes, ma'am.
Oh my
How's it
gosh, I
going?
can't believe you're stuck there.
I am stuck and it sucks, but I'm making the best of it. So I got some pizza, got some more Oreos.
There you go. For anyone listening, Joe was supposed to fly home today, but unfortunately, I guess there's a big storm, so the planes are grounded. Like, how long is this gonna last, do you think?
Oh, so what happened was my last day was yesterday, so I didn't work yesterday, and it was such a beautiful day. And I was like looking at the weather, and I knew that it was gonna storm today, but I was like, what are the chances that I'm gonna get like stuck here? Um, so I woke up this morning and it was completely cloudy, it was dark, and but the weather was actually good. The visibility was good, so there's no reason why they wouldn't land. Got to the airport and they actually couldn't fly because of a gas leak.
Oh,
Um,
damn.
yeah, so by the time they fixed it, they were like, "We're not flying because the storm like literally just started an hour or two ago." Um, so yeah, so now I'm stuck till tomorrow, and they have another flight going out. But the weather for the next week is supposed to be really dark, wet, lots of snow. And yeah, the biggest thing is that they can't see the cloud. The cloud line is so low that they're not able to land. So
Right. Yeah, you were explaining
yeah,
that in
fingers
the
crossed.
the travel episode. That's nuts, man.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. Honestly, when I got to the airport, I swear I stood on the staircase because I walked up a couple steps and a lady walked out and she was like canceled, and I just looked at her. I was
Oh.
like, I stood there for like a minute, and my boss was with me. He's like, "Hey, Joe, like, come on, like, let's go." And I'm like staring at him. I'm like, "No, I
You
will
should have
fix
just
the
stayed at
plane.
the airport. Yeah.
I watched Top Gun. Let's bring it to 10 G's. Let's
Oh my
go."
god. Oh, I couldn't even imagine. Man, like what if the storm lasts the entire time you're supposed to be off? They just don't let you leave? Does that ever happen?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So when I first came up, I was like stuck out of the island for like 5 days. And
But then
we
what do you
literally got in the plane and they would go down and then they would go back up because they can't see anything.
but then how do they manage like the gap in staff? So if you're supposed to fly out but someone starts, how do they navigate the weather? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just so harsh down here that that's one of the barriers to like not only healthcare but to any services. And it's also a
Yeah.
huge barrier to getting like if someone needs to get like medevac or needs to like go to Iqaluit or Ottawa for an appointment, they're just
Yeah.
stuck. They have to wait.
That's nuts. Unreal.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
but the
This is
duty travel with my work is amazing. And they've been working like they already called me like 3 times. They're working very hard to like get me on like the soonest flight.
oh, that's good.
So like that makes it better. Yeah, just knowing that like the government is like looking out for me and they're really trying.
Yeah,
But
at least they're proactive
yeah,
about it, you know?
exactly.
What I was gonna say is that for anyone listening, this is kind of a prompt to record. Joe stuck, so I was like, "Hey, man, you want to do a quick recording?" I don't know, Joe. Do you want to do a topic? What do you want to do? You want to do a chat? It's
I
up to
think
you.
I think we could just do like a chat, but I want to make this huge announcement that we haven't announced yet.
Oh
And
no.
we announced more important things like that you kept a cat, and then it like dawned on me. I'm like, wait a second, there's something else that's pretty big. Not as big as the cat, I'm not gonna lie. It does take second. But Leanne got engaged, guys. She's gonna be a
Woo!
married woman.
Woo! Very exciting. Very exciting.
I need
Um,
to have sound effects. That was so like inconclusive.
yeah, yeah. Add like an applause or something. Anyway, Ben and I have been together a long time, and yeah, it's very exciting. And quick little story, I guess, for anyone who cares. Um, he actually proposed. We were doing a hike, and we reached the summit of a mountain here in Alberta, and he actually proposed at the top of the mountain. So, right at the very tippy top. So, kind of cool. Not a lot of people get to do that, I guess. So, very exciting. I was very happy. I was like crying, Joe, but the wind was so crazy up there that like they were coming down my face, but like almost freezing and drying at the same time because it was so cold. But anyway, I was very excited. I said to Ben, I was like, I just want to jump. And I meant like, I want to jump up and down. But he's like, please don't jump off the mountain. Anyway, I was just excited in the moment. And yeah. So,
Do you want to marry me? I just want to jump off this
yeah.
mountain.
I was like jumping up and down, like we were hugging, and I'm like jumping up and down. And I was like, oh, I just want to jump. And I meant like, I'm excited. Like I wanted to jump up and down. Anyway, it was
Yeah.
pretty funny. And then I had to hike my ass all the way down the mountain. So now the running joke is like every time we go for a hike, I get a diamond ring at the top. So it's good incentive to get my ass all the way to the top.
That's such an expensive joke.
Yo, for real. Oh, anyway, thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's
Very
so
exciting.
cute. So happy for you guys. Leanne and Ben, they've
Thanks.
been dating for as long as I've known them, and they're just such a great couple. Great people
Aw,
too. Ben's such a stellar guy. Super
I
happy
know.
for you guys.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so listen, life has
I
just
just I
been
also want to say,
chaotic.
okay. Well, yeah, you also like if you guys don't know, I think we spoke about this, but you just bought a house in the summer too. You moved, and before that you moved to Alberta.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like
July
one
we
thing
bought a
after
house.
another.
Yeah, I think we just waited so long to like have our own space that now that we have our space, the cat obviously wasn't planned. It just kind of happened. But, like now we can, I don't know, get married, like spend time together, make the house ours. Like we're kind of waiting to have our own space in order to, I don't want to say move forward with life because I don't believe in like timelines and things like that. But yeah, just really waiting for a space to call ours and then build a life off of it?
Yeah, totally. Totally,
Yeah.
yeah. I think you guys like it's it seems life can seem so like unprecedented. That's been a fun word the last few years. At times,
Yeah.
like you just don't know what's gonna happen, and it's nice to see everything falling in place and things are like slowly you're like building that foundation for the next, you
Yeah.
know, 40, 50 years of your life, until
Well,
until retirement.
man, you and Jelena got married like right at the end of nursing school. I remember you coming to school one day and you were
Yeah,
like, yo, we're engaged. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I couldn't even imagine during nursing school having like
yeah,
planning a wedding and like doing all these things. Like, oh my God, man, my brain was so clouded at that time. Like, kudos to you and Jelena. Like, I don't know how the hell you guys did it, but I definitely couldn't have.
you know you know what, Jelena went away and like that, I don't know if it was, I think it was summer, yeah, it was like June, and
Yeah.
Jelena went away for a bit, and I was laying in bed and I was like, I really don't like this. Like this is not a comfortable feeling. Like I wish like Jelena was here right now. And I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? That's when I was like, I'm gonna marry this girl. Like there's no one else I wanted but her. And I was like, you know what? Like screw it. Like I'm not gonna wait. So yeah, did the and I want to say that that hike to the top mountain, I had done that first. Just saying. That was my OG. We
What do
did
you
that,
mean?
but not to the Rockies. Well, when I proposed to Jelena, we went for a hike, and then at the top of the mountain with the view, I proposed to her.
Oh, I didn't know
I thought you knew
that.
that, didn't I tell you that? I thought you watched the video.
No, man, you never sent me a video.
What?
You
Really?
have a
I
you have a
no,
video?
I totally did. Yeah, because I was showing everyone at in one of the classes at nursing school.
Oh
When
man, I
we
don't
were in nursing
remember.
school.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
and I
this.
like the thing is I didn't go on one knee because we were like we walked out to like the end of this like very thin rock, and it was like
Okay.
kind of a nice picture like to look, and I started to go down on one knee and I felt myself getting like wobbly. because I was so nervous.
Oh
So I
man.
ended up just doing it like standing up. I was like terrified. And then like we were like taking pictures and she thought I was right behind her and then she turned around and I had like a ring out.
What were you afraid for? You think she'd say no and just like climb down the mountain by herself?
Oh no, I was afraid I was gonna fall off the mountain. Like we were
Oh.
literally hanging off this rock. I was
I asked
terrified.
Ben I asked Ben if he was nervous and he's like, "Well, yeah." And I'm like, "Why? We've been together like 8 years. I'm not gonna say no." Like, what? Why would I say no? I don't know. Anyway, that's funny. I don't recall seeing that video, but you'll have to definitely send it to me.
I was sure
And then you guys like got married within what, like
a year.
2 months?
Oh hell no. No 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 no. It
I
was like a
thought
year.
was it that long? It felt really
Yeah,
fast.
we were scheduled so it was like end of so it was like I think yeah, because it was Canada Day, so it was like July 2019. And then on August 29th of 2020 we got married.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I guess
we had a COVID
because
wedding.
right, because I remember you saying you guys were engaged and then we graduated and then COVID shit hit the fan. But I guess kind of life feels I don't know, now I look back and I'm like, holy fuck, like where did those 2 years go? But at the time, Joe, like I felt like time was going so slow. And I guess I
Like
don't know,
during
like
nursing school.
no, during COVID.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, and I guess I don't know, I guess it just seems sooner than that, but Ben and I like haven't even started planning. You know, I have some ideas and stuff, but man, like we're still trying to get a house ready. We have my niece's birthday party here, her first birthday in a couple weeks. We have family coming down. Like we have a new cat
Mm.
now apparently. Like there's just a lot.
It is a lot. And you know, Leanne, I wanted if you want to talk about this or if you don't want to talk about it, that's okay too. But like what are your thoughts on like I feel like when you get married and you have a wedding, there's a lot of like you have to have like a photographer, you have to have like this and that and you know, a big wedding and a reception and everything. Like what are
Yeah.
your thoughts on that? Like
Well, I know you already know my thoughts, but for anyone
I
listening,
definitely know
I
your
am
thoughts.
like so not a traditional gal. Um, you know, because of family circumstances and just bullshit I don't really want to deal with. I don't necessarily want to invite the whole fam jam from Ontario. Like that just seems really overwhelming. I don't have money to pay for this wedding. First of all, like I look at people who have like these crazy grand weddings and that's like fine and if that's what you want, like absolutely by all means. You know, I wish that I could afford something like that comfortably, but realistically that's not something I've ever pictured, you know, and I don't know. I like small, intimate. We do have some family here, some really close friends, and I'm kind of more on the elope train, honestly, Joe. Like, I'm good to elope and then everyone go to a nice steakhouse afterwards, like fancy, don't get me wrong, but like book out a room, decorate the room, like that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And then Ben and I go for a honeymoon. And then the following summer kind of thing, we would fly home to Ontario and just have a party with everyone to just kind of celebrate the wedding. But I'm not interested in having everybody fly out here, if I'm being honest, you know? I just think
Yeah.
that's a lot. Like, I'm just not, no.
I totally hear you. A lot of these like
um,
traditions for weddings and stuff is just a market. Like they just
yeah,
want like weddings are definitely a market and it becomes more about like making money and that whole market than the actual love two people have for each other. And that's what getting married is. Like it's just you love someone and you're declaring I want to spend the rest of my life with you. So whatever that celebration looks like, it will differ from like person to person.
yeah, and I don't know, like I'm not really a flashy kind of person. Like I'm not into I don't know. I don't first of all, Joe, like I don't like bling. So like my mother-in-law, she's listening to this. She laughs so hard, but she's been trying. I call her my mother-in-law because Ben and I have been together forever, but she's always trying to bling me out, Joe. So like the jewelry and like we would watch like wedding dress shows on TV or whatever, like TLC, and she'd be like, "Oh, that dress is nice," and it's like covered in bling, and I'm like, "Man, like, it's not me. It's too fancy, you know." I just
Exactly. Yeah.
am like more of a simple gal. Like I like a lace gown, more like elegant, but I'm not into like spending money on chandeliers hanging from the ceiling and like it's just not me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally hear you. That's actually like Jelena. Jelena's the same exact way. The only
Yeah.
piece of jewelry she wears is her ring that I got her.
Like I wear a chain. It doesn't even have a pendant on it. Well, the one I was wearing did have a bee on it, but the one I'm wearing now is from my dad from like 15 years ago and it's a chain. I wear the two rings Ben has got me, my promised ring and my engagement ring, and then the odd time I put earrings in, but they're like a pearl or something. Like they're nothing that's like a big hoop or anything like that. I'm just
Hmm.
not I don't know. It's just how I am. I don't know. I just can't. I also just can't fathom spending like 40 grand on a wedding. That's crazy.
Oh, right. That's insane. That's insane. Like we had such a small wedding. I think our like overall cost, like, and this is after everything, was like 2,500,
Yeah,
which
like
which was
I don't even have
pretty
40
good.
grand to go drop on a wedding if I'm being honest,
Like
you know.
like 40 grand. Like what
I
the heck?
maybe if I wasn't trying to get through school and Ben and I just hadn't bought a house and we were more established and maybe had better income, sure, but I just can't I don't know. Like you say it's about the connection and that it is what you make it, and it is about the love and the commitment you have to each other and whatever, but I'm just not into spending a lot of money. Man, we bought a couch for our basement.
Hmm.
This couch was like $2,400, which isn't even expensive. It's a cloud couch. Some of these couches like range upwards of like
What's a
nine
cloud
grand.
coach?
You'll have to look it up. It's like a modular sofa, but it has like all the cushions are like extra fluffy. I don't know. Look it up. I can't really explain
It's
it.
like a cloud.
Yeah, you
Does it
sit
look
on it
like
and
a
you
cloud?
sink in it.
Oh, that's so hype. And that's in your
Yeah.
basement?
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh
this
man, that's
couch,
such a good vibe.
yeah, it was $2,400 and Ben and I split everything, 50-50. That's just how we do things. And I couldn't, Joe, it took me like 3 weeks to be like $1,200 for a couch. Like, I don't know, man. And I hemmed and I hawed and finally the basement is where we have our TV and it's our hangout spot and obviously we need something to sit on. We can't sit on the floor forever. But yeah,
Basement
I,
on
I
cloud is
just
amazing.
I just don't like to spend large amounts of money all at once and there's definitely a wedding tax on things. Like if you say, "Oh, it's for a wedding," like add $100. I don't know why that is, but
Oh,
like
so true.
photography for weddings is insane, man. Like
Oh, it's
$2,400,
stupid.
$2,300 for like a photo package? That's
And that's
insane.
like
That's
cheap.
as much as my
Like
that's as much as my couch.
we were looking at some packages that was like five, six, 7 grand. And those are like
That's
the
nuts.
the every girl's photographer, you know what I mean? Like she makes me look like a
Oh,
princess sort of thing. And it's just like,
I just
yeah, it's
don't
wild.
know. I
And you
don't
know what?
know.
We actually unfortunately, well, unfortunately, we had some really bad people that we did business with because COVID hit and you put a security deposit down, right? Like, and that's
Oh, yeah.
that's a like a refundable thing that you put down that says, hey, if anything happens and blah blah blah, you can get this refund back. We didn't get
Mhm.
one thing back, Leon. Like these people ghosted us. We had this one lady, she seemed so nice and she was speaking with us and it was a good price and we put down a down deposit that like is just like gone, like that's not refundable, but we put
Mhm.
down another portion that was refundable, and it was a lot less. I think it was only like $500. And we put a down deposit down of like maybe like $800 or something like that. And as soon as
Mhm.
COVID hit, we were like, oh, hey, like, we know things are tough, but like, whenever you get a chance, not saying give us the $500 like right now, but like, can we get that security deposit back? Blocked
Yeah.
us, blocked me, blocked Jelena on everything.
Oh
Yep.
my
And I'm like,
god.
we're gonna be getting married after like COVID. So like, you're just saying that you'd rather take that $500 and run and not like help us out after. So anyways, we were just like, you saw like the kind of worst of people, and you saw that
Yeah.
the whole wedding market, in my opinion, like, it's just a market. Like, people tell you what they want to hear so they
Yeah.
can like get paid, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, Joe. I'm just kind of simple. Like I think when we moved to Alberta, like when you move provinces away from family now, I do have my brother here, but I have another brother back in Ontario and um you kind of realize that being away from family, you don't get to spend the special occasions together all the time. Like normally we would have done Thanksgiving and Easter and we'd be doing Christmas and I'd go to mom's house and then I'd go to dad's house and whatever like we just spend time together as a family. And when you live a 4-hour plane ride away, which isn't cheap, by the way, to fly to Ontario is absolutely ridiculous.
Oh
Um,
yeah, it's like a, what is it, like, $1,000, twelve
it's
hundred
like,
bucks, like, round
yeah,
trip.
yeah, for two people, it's like anywhere between like $300 to $500, $600 a flight with return. That's crazy,
That's insane.
craziness. So I just feel like when we moved here, Ben and I both kind of came to the realization that we don't get to spend all of these holidays and such with family. And that's been tough for us. It has. Ben's very close with his parents and still is. But it's a tough realization, and now that we're engaged and we'll be getting married, a part of me wants to have family here, but then a part of me doesn't. And it'd be easier just to have a party all together where everyone can just mingle. And I don't know. I haven't put much thought into it. I have a Pinterest board going with some like ideas and things like that, but uh, I don't know. I just couldn't be bothered to think about it at this moment. Some days I get excited about it.
Yeah,
I'll be like scrolling Facebook and I'm like, I see this like beautiful dress or something, and I get all excited and I'm sending Ben stuff. But for the most part, I'm okay just enjoying our time being engaged and then figuring it out. I kind of thought it would be cool
yeah.
to get married on our 10-year anniversary. I don't know.
You and Ben have been together for 10 years.
Well, 8 years now, but if we got married in 2024, it would be 10 years,
That actually pretty good.
you know? But anyway, I just can't really be bothered to plan anything. It's really stressful too when you sit down and people are like, "And what shoes are you going to wear? And what are your nails going to look like? And well, what about a boutonniere and flowers? Are you going to do real? Are you going to do fake? Well, what about makeup and hair? I don't know anybody here." So back home, I'd have my best friend do my hair, and people. But here, Joe, like I don't know anybody here except our like close friends. And one of my really good friends, Cynthia, shout out to Cynthia. She actually took our engagement photos for us, and they turned out beautiful. Um, and that was so
And
nice of
and you
her
guys
to
did the
do.
photos in the mountains, eh?
Yeah, we went to a park, Quarry Lake Park. It's outside of Canmore, and yeah, we just walked around the park, and she let us do whatever poses we wanted, and we just kind of goofed around a bit and took some photos, and then we went for dinner, and it was such a good day. We just kind of made a full day of it. And but even up to the photos, Joe, I was like, how am I going to do my hair? Like, what am I going to wear? And everyone was telling me like, well, you should dress up. And I'm like, but that's not true to me.
I don't
Mhm.
wear dresses. I don't wear heels. I'm a jeans and sweater kind of gal through and through. I'll admit, like, I like my makeup and I like to look presentable, but
I mean, Joe, have you ever seen me wear a dress other than at graduation? Like, really? And how uncomfortable am I in a dress? Like, it's just not me,
Did
you
you actually
know?
wear it? I don't remember you wearing a dress.
yeah, it was like some random green
Number. It's just uncomfortable.
Man, I
So,
can't even like picture you in a dress, to be honest. Like,
I know it's
definitely
just not
jeans and hoodie
me.
is your style.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
this is like this dilemma that
I was like, I'm looking on the internet and everybody has these like beautiful boho dresses and they're doing these engagement photos. And I'm like, but that's not us, you know? These like men were wearing like button up shirts or tuxes and women are in like fitted dresses. And I'm like, nah, man, like this is not a black tie event. Like, I just want to go have fun with Ben. I want to get some pictures of us smiling. Like,
Yeah. I
it's
I
more
literally wore
us.
a backwards hat to my engagement photos. Like
did
just a
you?
plain
Yeah.
backwards hat. Yeah, just like very chill.
Yeah.
I
We
never heard
wore
of people getting
jeans.
that fancied up. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's a thing. There's like all this pressure
Wow.
put on people when they get married, Yeah, we wore jeans. Ben put on some nice dress shoes just because his like high top skate shoes weren't really the vibe, but that's about it. He wore a normal sweater that he wears every day. I bought a white sweater because I wanted to at least wear white just as like a I don't know, like a foreshadow to the wedding kind of thing. Like,
I was gonna wear
Oh,
burgundy.
okay. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
but yeah, but I like the way the white looked on me. And then we both wore jeans. So that was that. Super easy. And then we went out for dinner afterwards and I was still comfortable.
but like imagine me in a dress.
no.
Yeah. Man, that's what it's all about. Like that's who you guys are. Like that's such a natural like photo. Like you don't even need edits on the photos. Like it just
Yeah.
encapsulates you guys right there.
And I feel like I kind of want to get into this a bit, Joe. Like maybe not so much about the wedding stuff, but more of like society pressures because I'm really starting to feel this when the second we bought a house, people are like, "Oh, that's nice. Like when are you going to have kids?" Like, holy fuck, let me enjoy my house. Like
Wow.
we got
And I
engaged. People were
also
like,
feel
"Oh,
like that's
when's the
such
date?
a
When's the date? When are you getting married? When's the date?" And I'm like, "I've been engaged for 45 minutes." Like, can we all just relax?
I
Like,
think I see a hump in the belly. Like, no, that's just the
Oh
chicken wings
my
we ate after I got engaged.
gosh.
Like,
Right? It's just this is constant and it's everywhere. And I don't know if you feel this as a man. Like, did you ever feel pressure to, I don't know, propose, or do you guys ever like get questions about when you're gonna have kids or buy a house, or I don't know, like it
all
it
the
makes me
time.
so
And it's
mad. It makes me so
there's
mad.
also there's also like a lot of cultural factors to that, but in any of those questions, I feel like I personally feel like it's rude. If I went up to someone and I was like, "When are you having a kid?" That's like a very like personal question, and you also don't know like, are they trying to have kids? Are they struggling to have kids? Like you just don't know, and I feel like it's a very like ignorant question to ask someone.
Yeah.
And people like, for example, I was at work once and someone didn't ask me, they told me that I'm doing my wife an injustice by not giving her babies. And I was like, huh. I was like, that's an interesting comment to make about me when you barely know me. Like,
I
it was
just
just like
can't believe
unprecedented.
like the audacity, like like you say, people don't know. I could not be able to bear children, or like one of us could
Yeah.
be sterile or whatever the case is, or maybe we've had 7 miscarriages that nobody knows about. And I think when people ask, it comes from a good place, but nobody really knows what goes on in other people's lives when it comes to this kind of shit. And it makes me so mad. Like, I literally posted pictures of us holding our keys on our front step on Instagram, and someone commented saying, "Now you got your house, baby's next." And I literally just commented, "No."
Just no.
No. Like, just And I get that that comes from, I guess, a generational differences. Like back in the day, I look at our parents and like they got married, they had kids. Like my mom was 24 when she had me, 28 when she had my younger brother, and I'm 28 now and don't have kids, and that's okay. But to that generation, it's like hard for them to understand that I want to put other things first. I just,
Yeah.
I really struggle with this.
There's so many considerations like with those questions, and I think you're right. I don't think they come from a bad place, but it's also like
Yeah.
a paradigm that a lot of people live in. And
Mhm.
there's like different paradigms. Jelena and I like I don't like to say identify as this, but like we identify as Christians. And
Mhm.
sometimes when we go to church, and especially when we first started dating, we would like go to church and like the church culture, Leanne, is so toxic. It is
I
so
know.
toxic. Like we walk in there and they see me and Jelena holding hands, and like some people will walk up to you and they'll be like, oh, like I don't see a ring, you guys must be engaged. And we're like, no, we're just dating. And they're like, oh, and like they just
Oh,
look at
the
us.
audacity.
Hey,
How? How dare
like
you?
put some Jesus in between those hands right there, people. Like come on now. Like
Oh my
and it's just
gosh.
but and by the way, this isn't like someone I know. Like this is like random like people at church just being
Yeah.
like, hey, you married yet? And we're like, we've only been dating for like 3 months, and like I was engaged after 5 minutes of dating my girlfriend. Um,
Jeez.
but then also it was also at the church, and this isn't. I'm not trying to like attack the church or anything, like just in general, but you see, and I'm sure you know people when they're 18 years old or 19, they start dating someone and they're married within like 3 months of dating. And there's a lot of like when we moved to Alberta, like I knew a lot of people who just like they got married right away, and it's because um obviously in like church the whole thing is like it's supposed to be like a trinity between like you, your partner, and God. So by like
Mhm.
marrying someone and having that person for the rest of your life, you're like honoring God and like his purpose for you.
Mhm.
So people they want to get married right away, but there's also this lesson that I actually like kind of disagree with it. I'm not going to get like super into it, but you can't have
Yeah.
sex before marriage. And
Mhm.
I disagree with this message. It's because the time I've already seen a lot of cases where these people get married when they're 18 years old after 3 months of dating each other, and then they get divorced like later, and it's just because they want to get laid. They
Wow.
marry each other,
Surprise.
right? Like they're
You don't
18,
know someone
they're
after 3
no,
years or
and you
3
don't know
months,
your
sorry.
yeah, you don't know yourself when you're that young, like 18 years old.
Yeah, and oh, if yeah. Ben and I started dating when I was 19, just turning 20, and we moved to Alberta after 3 months of dating. And people thought we were nuts, and yeah, we were, whatever. Um, but it all worked out, and, I just, I don't know, I don't follow any type of religion per se. I was raised Catholic, but I don't practice. I don't go to church, anything like that. I don't have anything against anybody who does. Um, but I just don't like when people force their ideals on you because you're an individual and you can make your own decisions, your own choices. And
Yes,
it's really none of their business if it is in line with theirs or not. Controversial topic, but
no, it did like, but it's the truth. Like
that's just how
nobody
I
can go
feel.
around expecting you to live up to like like no one can go around like I'll use me as an example. I can't go around expecting you to live up off my values that I deemed moral just because I
Mhm.
deem them moral, right? Like
Yeah.
who do you think you are if you do that? Like you think you're
It's
better than like everyone else, right?
yeah, I
And
was
that's
just
not
gonna say
okay.
that. It's like your ideals trump the rest, and that's not the case,
It's
you
not.
know?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
oh,
I
I
think
have
that that ties
My
in like
mind
very
is
well
just yeah, my
like
mind
to
is
this
just
whole
spinning on this
conversation.
topic.
But and let's bring it back to like the wedding. that's just like one facet of this whole society we live in, of like things that like are deemed like normal by certain groups. And
Hmm.
that's where I think there's a lot of separation. Like, and there's so much like separation in like society today. Um,
But that's okay. Like, do what you want to do and don't question other people. Don't ask me when I'm having kids. I don't want to. I'm not ready, okay? I just let me live my life. It has no impact on you. Are you going to babysit my kids? No. Are you going to pay for their school
I'll
supplies?
babysit your
No.
kids.
Are you going to
I
do you have
won't pay for
any
school supplies though.
these people that are asking though, it's like what like
Yeah,
I just Joe, I have no words. I just like I just want to scream, you know? It's like
yeah.
are you going to pay the I don't know. I don't even know how much daycare is like $600 a month or some shit. I don't know. Are you going to pay that
Oh,
bill? Are you going to I don't know, take her to the dentist?
here,
Like
are you
I
gonna give
just
birth? Are you giving birth to the child? If
Right.
it's a no, then it's none of your business. Like, stop
this
it,
is it.
right? And like
I
kids
hate these
are
pressures.
kids are a scary thing. I don't think I'm ever gonna be ready for kids
No,
until
what?
like we have kids one day, right? Like,
Yeah. And I
it's one
think
of those like inevitables.
yeah, I think we mentioned this in the last episode briefly, but I don't think you're ever ready until it happens. But like Ben and I just want to enjoy our house and we want to like do projects and paint and make the space ours and see how our finances go over the next couple months. Like we just bought a house. We have all these new
Oh,
bills. We have a new cat now. You know, we'd like to get a dog. Oh, you know, I just
you just want to
oh,
enjoy life and
Joe, I need
enjoy
to
life
tell you
before
this.
kids too.
I need to tell you this. So I bring up the cat because you know how I'm on here like, oh yeah, you know, we this cat followed us home, like she picked us, blah blah blah.
Love this cat. Okay, she's great. Luna, she's lovely. Very happy to have her in our home. Yesterday, was it yesterday we were podcasting or the day before? Yesterday. Um I was talking about the cat and I was like, I smell shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Sure enough,
Oh,
this cat shit in Ben's game room beside the computer. I was
oh,
so fucking mad. Oh my god. I was like,
You're going back to the SPCA, blah 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 blah.
oh,
And so we've locked her out of the basement, like she's not allowed to come down here for a little while.
I have like a carpet cleaner. We cleaned it all up and everything, but yeah, it's just karma that I was saying like how great she's been and then she shits on the carpet and I could just like I have an eye twitch. I'm just like my blood pressure is rising and I think about having kids and like I can't hold my cool. Like what if the kids draw on the walls? I'm going to fucking yell at them.
you threatened the cat with the SPCA. I'm gonna take
Yeah,
you
I did.
back then.
Yeah, I did. I would never do that, but it's just I mean, it was more a joke than anything, but just funny, you know?
You
And like
should
she
have
can't
put the
understand
cat in
me
the cat
anyway.
carrier. Should
She
have put her
can't
in the cat carrier and drove by the SPCA. Just not
I don't
not take her there, but just drive by it. Like, make her think. Like, be like, yeah, this is what happens. Like
Okay, well
when you
I
poop in the
grabbed
cat
her and
carrier.
I like put her face in the poop, but you can't do that for cats. Like they're not like dogs, you know? They're their own
Oh,
independent species.
So I was like, bad Luna, bad, and I'm like yelling at her. And anyway, it doesn't do any
oh.
good, but
It doesn't. With cats, you just
no,
have to like, you
I
have to
know.
very like,
Ugh,
when my cats do something bad, we never like give them trouble. But like, for example, for cats like keeps want food, we'll just like
yeah,
redirect them. Like, redirection is the way that you have to do it. And like,
yeah,
if you catch them pooping or something, like grabbing them right away and like putting them like in their like litter box.
yeah,
I
that's what
feel
I
like they're
did.
very receptive that way.
Yeah, well, I grabbed her and I like showed her and I was like, no. And I like raised my voice, and then I walked her upstairs and I put her in the litter box and I said, you shit here. And I know she's like not going to understand, but like I don't
I think
understand. Was
I
she
think she
late?
will a little bit though.
Want to go upstairs? It's like, what the fuck? Like her litter box was clean. I know
Usually,
that cats like historically will shit outside the box if the box is too dirty, but it was clean. So I don't know.
Yeah, if a cat poops outside of their litter, usually it's like like either A, what you the litter's dirty, or it's just like a random like behavior. Like sometimes
Yeah.
like they'll do it if like they're like feeling saucy or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I scoop it every day and I've been keeping it clean and I don't know. Maybe she's high maintenance, but
Maybe
like
because
if
he
this
doesn't
cat
like
was
Ben.
outside, I guess she never shit in the same place. So
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
so
I
anyway,
had a
I
cat when I was actually doing stats. I had a cat. This was at my in-laws' place. Um, Came in my office one day and like I saw that like I caught his name is Latte. I caught him in the action of shitting on my laptop.
No.
I have no idea why. Like I was like, dude, like fuck. Like I thought we were cool. Now you're shitting on my laptop. Like
Maybe
he's
it's
never done
because
you
that.
were
Like
you
ever.
weren't giving him enough attention.
Yeah, maybe it's because I was on my laptop so much and he was jealous of the laptop. They just like shat on it.
Yeah. I was thinking that like when Luna shit on the floor, I was thinking maybe it's because Ben wasn't home yet and we were podcasting and maybe I wasn't giving her enough attention. I don't know. Anyway, I just thought it was pretty funny that I'm on here being like, "Oh yeah, she's so great," and then she shits on the floor, and I'm like, "Ah."
I spoke too soon.
Yeah. And then people want me to have kids and, be an acceptable parent in society, and like I'm yelling at a cat trying to teach it how to not shit on the floor. I'm not ready for kids.
If people like saw like a 24-hour version of our days, like they would stop saying have kids. Like they'd be like,
Just like it's so funny because I'll go to do something and I fuck it up or I can't even explain to you how many times I've tried to hang something on the wall and I can't put the drywall anchors in and it's just such a clusterfuck. Anyway,
oh,
I always
drywall
yell,
anchors.
"Oh, I need an adult. Fuck, I need an adult. Is there an adult?"
All
And
I
then
That feel you on a spiritual level.
and then I realize it's just Ben and I and I'm like, "Well, we're doomed."
When I hang something on the wall, like I'll hang like floating shelves. And like when I got like to our place that we just moved in, I think I hanged like three floating shelves. And I walk around
Yeah.
the house like I'm like, yeah, that's right. Like you see that floating shelf right there?
Top
I
shit,
found the
I did
stud.
that.
I put the dry anchor, whatever thing in the wall, and I screwed that bitch in. And I'm a
Oh my
man,
god.
okay? And
That's
then like
so funny.
it just like it really boosts my ego because like I did that. Like I'm like
It
that's a Joe Brainer right there.
it's a
Come
Joe
on, baby.
Brainer.
Like it's a Joe Brainer. I took some honestly what saved my life, and this is a big tip for anyone out there. Command strips. Command strips are the best for hanging anything
Oh, yeah?
within like
I
10
don't have
pounds.
any.
Oh yeah.
I'll have to get some.
Oh oh yeah. Like all of the pictures in our house are all like command strips. It's like no damage to the wall. The
Yeah,
picture stays there, like it doesn't hang, so it would never be crooked. You just have to make sure that when you put the picture on,
it's not crooked.
that it's not crooked. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I've heard good things about them, but listen, we're at Home Depot like once every 2 weeks now. It's like our new home because we're buying shit for the house or tools or outdoor things or just always
You
at
guys
Home
are gonna learn
Depot.
so much. Yeah, it's gonna be so cool. Like just like learning
Slowly.
because like when you own a place, it's a lot different than having landlords. Because
Yeah,
personally, like I don't want to spend like plumbers are expensive. Like if something
yeah,
goes wrong, like just call a plumber right away. I'm gonna try to figure it out and see if
yeah,
I can
yeah,
fix
yeah.
it myself.
Like if we changed our faucets out and upgraded them or whatever, Ben would do it. But he just looked up a YouTube video and figured it out. That's kind of how we roll. And I think that's true
Yes,
for
yo,
most
YouTube's
people
so
though. If
sick.
you if you don't know how to do something, you just look it up. Back in the day people used to I guess call like mom or dad or whatever, and there's still times where I'll call mom or I especially actually I call my dad quite a bit because of I'm worried about our water heater because it's a little bit old. And we'll have to replace it eventually, but I still find myself calling like mom and dad about, cooking things or like furnace stuff or, just things that I know that they're well versed in. But for the most part, if I don't know how to do something, honestly, I just Google it. I look it up and I just figure it out as
Google
I go.
Google's the best.
Yeah.
Google is so good. When I lived with at my in-laws place, so they were going around the country like traveling, and we were living at the like paying rent, but we were responsible. And it was like a full house, and they had a lot of like fancy stuff, and they're like a huge like garage heater and like sump pump and like whatever. Um, and some things you just can't Google. Like some things are way out of the scope of Google because you don't even understand like what's broken, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had this neighbor, shout out to Neil. He's definitely not listening to this, but still shout out to
you,
Neil.
you never know.
He's like, you're right, yeah, he's this older guy. I think he's like in his 60s, 70s. I'm sorry if he's younger, but I would feel like he's in his 60s and 70s. And he's just like I'll put it this way, I would never get in a fight with this guy. Like he's an older man and like he has like that older man belly, but like he's like a man's man. Like this guy, he's always in his yard doing stuff. He's always fixing
Yeah.
something. And whenever anything would break, we would just go over to Neil and he would come over and like he wouldn't need like instructions or anything. He would just fix it. And he would fix it perfectly every single time. And it was just
Yeah.
so amazing to have like Neil around. Like I love Neil. He was great. Um
Yeah.
and yeah, like he literally knew everything. It was crazy. Like from like plumbing to heating to like just like basic like to paint to anything really. He could help
Mm-hmm.
you out with that. Um
Yeah, I wish we had someone like that. We just kind of wing it and figure out as we go. I find that I'm learning though that we need to do more research before we like jump into things. but that's
you
okay.
like project.
We'll learn. Yeah, we did patio stones out back. We did like a little pad that kind of matches our front walkway and to put our garbage cans on because I didn't want the garbage cans kept in the garage cuz that's essentially Ben's like workshop, right? He's mechanic. So, um I didn't want to have like smelly garbage cans in the garage as he's trying to work on cars. And so we keep them
Mm,
outside. And so we made this little like pad, I guess, out of patio stones and we laid them out nice. But oh, it was such a process and I'm just happy that one's done. But anyway, we learn a little bit day by day and
yeah,
we'll just figure it out as we go, just like anything in life, really. We're just kind of all winging it and figuring it out as we go.
that's just it. That's just it.
Yeah. Yeah.
House projects are like it's that's taxing.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Joe, I think we can maybe wrap it up there.
Um, guys, Nurses with Attitude now has an Instagram. Very exciting. Check us out. We have I made the account last night. It's nurses.with.attitude on Instagram. And then also feel free to follow Joe and I individually as well. All of the info will be in the description box of this episode. But yeah, don't forget to follow, share. Joe, anything you want to add?
Yeah, guys, thanks for listening. And I think that's it. Like we're good.
Yeah,
Go like that account, guys.
nice little promptu episode here.
And guys,
All right,
please pray
guys.
that I'll get off this island.
Yeah, everybody send a prayer out to Joe.
All right, guys. See ya.
See you later.